Choosing the wrong real estate agent could cost you thousands of dollars and unnecessary stress. Don't worry, after watching this video, you're going to feel totally confident in choosing the right agent for your move. You're about to learn exactly how to hire a real estate agent like a pro. So how do you know if someone's right for you? Well, that is what I'm going to break down for you today, step by step. If you're moving to Florida, especially Gainesville and the surrounding areas, this will help you avoid stress, wasted time, and costly mistakes. Now let's dive in. The first step and the easiest way to learn about an agent is to check out their social media. Come on, in this day and age, who doesn't have a social media? Especially if you're in real estate, because it's all about marketing yourself. When I am looking at their social media, I want to see what they're posting. Is it a bunch of drinking photos, family barbecues, and pets? Because I like all of that and I'm not opposed to it, but that's not what I'm looking for in my real estate professional. What I'm looking for is their market knowledge. Do they know the area? Are they bringing value in the first communication that I'm having with them, which is stalking them online, because that's really what I'm doing. And I want to know, you want someone that's already showing up to help you before you've even reached out. Now, I'm not talking about bragging rights like just listed, just sold, let me show you my closing with my customers. That's not value. I'm talking about market information. Do they know the stats of what's going on in the area? Can they tell you about the different communities? Do they know the geography of where your work is going to be in relation to the subdivision that you're looking for? If they're already giving you free value online, they're really going to give you a lot of value when you get to meet them in person. Now, here's a pro tip. Agents who create content about the area that they serve are usually more up to date with what is happening. And that is gold when you are relocating from out of state. The next step is you want to check their credentials. And I know this is really boring, but this is where facts actually matter. Are they actually licensed in the state that you are moving to? I mean, that's a bare minimum. But let's dig a little deeper. You want to know what number of homes they sold in the last year. Many agents are going to tell you, well, I'm a rock star. I've sold 50 million or 1,000 homes. That's fine if you did that 10 years ago, but I need to know, what did you do last year? It's also important to know, who did they work with? Did they work with buyers? Did they work with sellers? Did they work with people relocating, or did they work with people in town? Also, something that's really important to know is, are they familiar with working in the price range you are shopping for? So for example, if you're moving to an area and you're looking for a single family home between $300,000 and $400,000, and the person you're talking to does rural land, that's not going to be a good fit. Or vice versa. If they're working condos and you're looking for a single family house, or they work with first-time home buyers and you're used to $1 million property, you want to make sure that they have the credentials in the last year, because real estate is always changing, to work with you where you need them to work. This is not the time that you want to feel good for somebody and give them a break, and you are the practice deal for them to break into that market. You want to work with somebody who has already done this numerous times and has proven to be successful. Step 3 is you want to work with a local expert. Now, this is a huge one. Many agents will say, well, I'm licensed in the state of Florida, I can work anywhere. And while that is true, that is not the best for you. There is a big difference between I cover all of Florida and I specialize in Gainesville. You want somebody who knows the small stuff, the traffic pattern, the local restaurants, where you're going to take your dog for grooming, farmers markets, activities. How far is the drive from here to there? Because it's these little details that you're going to have to live with. Also know in their local expertise, do they know the turnover in that market? You might be deciding to live there for the rest of your life, or you might say, hey, I'm only going to live here for 4 or 6 years. I need to know an area that's going to have a good resale value, or I might be thinking of renting and I want to purchase in an area that will be attractive to renters and I will get a good rental income, so I'm not going to be upside down on my mortgage. A local real estate expert is going to have that information versus somebody that says, I handle all of Florida. I've got you. If you're moving to Gainesville, Florida, or the surrounding area, and you want someone with local expertise and cares about getting it right for you, click the link in the description below. I'll help you figure out Gainesville, the surrounding areas, and make sure you get the right fit for you. Step number 4, let's talk about availability. Is this their full-time job, or is this a side hustle, or is this just something they do to pass the time? Because that is going to be very important. You want someone that's going to be available when you need them, not when it's convenient for them. And speaking of availability, you want to know things like, what hours and days do they work? So for example, I am a morning person. I get up at 5, but I go to bed at 8. So I tell all of my clients at 8 o'clock and later, I am going to be dead to the world. Now, if I happen to wake up in the middle of the night and I see a text from you, I'll respond. Please make sure your phone's on Do Not Disturb, or just tell me you don't want me to do that and I won't. But I let everybody know that these are my hours. So if somebody comes to me and they say, hey, I work a midnight shift, I'm going to need for you to be available starting at 8 p.m., I know that's not a good fit. Also regarding weekends, you want to know if they work weekends. Now, many of us would wish that we didn't work weekends, but the truth of the matter is our clients usually have Monday through Friday 9 to 5 jobs, and it is the weekends that they are off. So I do work weekends, and you want to make sure that they at least tell you if they're going to be away on vacation and who's going to be covering them. That's another thing. You want to make sure that when they're gone that they have a backup system for you. Another thing that's important to know is how quickly do they respond. Now, time is different for everybody. Some people, when I say, well, how quickly do you respond? They say, well, immediately. And I'm like, well, what's immediately? And they're like, well, in 8 hours. So for them, that's immediately. But for you, that might be 2 hours. So it's important to set that expectation so you understand if you call them that day, will they be calling you back, or is it within a 24 to 48 hour time frame? And speaking of availability, something else you want to make sure you know is how many clients they are working with. If you are the only client, they should be very available to you. But if you've got somebody who's working with hundreds of clients, it's going to be really hard for them to have a lot of extra time in their schedule for you. So if you are buying a house, especially if you are out of state and you need to move quickly because you've got a deadline when you're moving and an agent is taking 48 hours, 3 days or 4 days just to return a phone call or a text, you are going to miss out on your perfect home, and that can leave you very frustrated. Now, number 5 is communication. And let's be honest, communication matters because it is going to make or break your deal. What is important to know is how do you want to communicate? Because that's how the agent needs to show up, not you fitting into their box. So if you want to text and they only make phone calls, or they only text, but you need for them to pick up the phone and call you, and you want a 30-minute conversation and they're only going to give you 2 minutes because they're super busy, there's nothing wrong with any of those scenarios, but this should be about what communication works best for you, and the agent needs to lend themselves to your style, or needs to be honest with you and just say, that's not my style, we're not going to be a good fit. Also regarding communication, you want to know what is their communication style in the way of language. So I am a very direct and to the point person, and I find that people that are very flowery and like to have very, very long conversations can often find that I'm not enjoyable to work with because I'm more short and to the point. Now, there's nothing wrong with me and there's nothing wrong with them, but you just want to make sure during this very busy and stressful process that you get somebody who is going to tailor themselves to you and knows how to communicate in the best way possible to you, because during all of this, you're going to need it. Now, another thing is, speaking of communication, I don't want to put my agents on the emotional roller coaster. So this is why we're hired, is to be that go-between. We hear all of the stuff that is happening and we need to find the solutions and bring you your options. Now, I see that there are many agents out there that bring you on that emotional roller coaster, and they call you up and they're like, oh my gosh, the house is burning to the ground. And then they're like, now you're getting a discount. And then they bring you like, oh, the deal's falling apart. And like, oh, we're going to closing. It's a lot, and that's not what an agent should be doing for you. The agent should be gathering the information, laying out all of the options for you, presenting them to you, giving you the pros and cons, and then letting you make the decision that is best for you. Now, number 6 for me is a really, really big pet peeve, and that is commission breath. You do not want an agent with commission breath. And you've seen it. That person that is really only there for the paycheck, they're wanting to push you into the more expensive home. They're wanting you to accept all the problems. They just want to get you to the closing table because they've already counted their commission check and they need for you to close as fast as possible because they need that income for something else. So you want to make sure that this agent is willing to be honest with you, willing to forsake their income in your best interest, is willing to tell you the truth and say that house is overpriced or that house has a lot of problems and it's going to cost you a lot of money, we really need to keep looking. And that is the kind of agent that you want, the one that is going to be honest with you and put your interest and your needs before their own. And I'm going to be honest with you, good agents, they are not chasing every deal. They're looking for the right one. You want someone who puts your goals and your needs first, not their paycheck. The best agents, they are not desperate for your business. They are going to go ahead and be honest with you, and if they lose the business, that's going to be okay because they've already got a lot of business lined up behind you that is going to want to work with them. But they're going to make sure that you get what's best for you, and they're going to let you know. This is the one I really want you to trust your gut on. If you feel like they've got commission breath, just move on. Now, step number 7 is for you. You've got to be ready to commit. Here's something that most people don't think about. If you want a good agent, you need to be a good client. Good agents are very busy. They're very selective who they bring on, and they work with a set number of buyers and sellers at any given time to make sure that they have availability and time for each and every one of them. If you want to be a priority to your agent, then they need to be a priority to you. So what do I mean by that? Our information all comes from the same place. So as a buyer coming in and you say to me, I want to see single family homes that are between $300,000 and $400,000. It takes a lot of time to do the research. Once they've heard everything you're looking for, weed through all of those homes to curate the list of exactly what you want to see. Now, if you tell me, well, you know what, I'm also calling 5 other people and we'll just see who gets to me first. We have all the same information. It just depends on how hard each person's going to work. Like, are they going to go through 100 listings and really curate what you've told them you're looking for? Or are they going to just send you the 100, let you go through it, maybe get back to you and get you the information that you're looking for so that you can whittle down that list to something manageable. So for good agents that are going to give you their time and make you a priority, they're going to want that same relationship from you. They're going to want to know that you guys, and I always jokingly call this like, we're married, and I'm not going to cheat on you, but I don't want you to cheat on me. Relationships work best when all parties are committed. When that happens, it's pretty much smooth sailing. How do you know that you are ready to commit? Well, hopefully you follow the first 6 and you've already checked that agent out online. They should be willing to have a phone call or video consultation with you. You've talked or met in person and you felt heard, and that you know that they have your best interest in mind and they're not rushing you. That they're not working with 100 people, but they're only working with a small select group of people, and they are experts in the area that you are looking to purchase with the product type you're looking to purchase, and they've got a lot of history behind them in the last year, and that this is their full-time job, and your communication and availability schedules are in line. Now, once you've done all of that, then you should feel comfortable moving forward. Because again, if you want a good agent, you got to be a good client, because good agents, they're busy. So when my buyers are coming to me and they say, hey, you know what, Tammy, I'm not moving to Gainesville, but I am going to move to Tampa or Orlando, Jacksonville, somewhere else. Can you help me find an agent that's going to be a good fit for me? I'm more than happy to. And those are the exact same steps that I use when I start calling for agents and doing the research in this area to make sure that that agent is going to be a good fit for my client. So I'm having you do exactly what I do. The right real estate agent is going to make your journey easier, faster, and less stressful. If you're thinking about moving to Florida in the next 2 months or the next 2 years, and you want help navigating the process and finding the right home in the right area, click on the link below or scan the QR code. I would love to help. Thanks, and I'll see you in the next video.